Why, hello everybody. It's me, JFM, here to give you the very first podcast. Wow. Never knew I'd make one. Although it was in my mind a long time ago. Like, let's say, in February. But hey, here I am, doing the first podcast. And this is like episode 1, episode 0, whatever you like to call it. I'll just call this the pilot episode. I don't know what to call my podcast series. JFM podcast. I was thinking the Somerville Outcast, but people won't get that. I mean, here I'm gonna talk about Jeff and Taylor stuff. Pretty much give you tips and advice on how to make your own independent comics and artwork successful, and hopefully in the near future I'll have some interviews with some independent artists. So, yeah. And I'm just recording this. I'm pre-recording this because most podcasts are recorded live. I'm trying to see if my podcast hosting website would accept pre-recorded MP3s, because it is an MP3 file. Because the whole point of a podcast is that you can download it into your iPhone, your iPad, something, whatever, and any MP3 player can record this, and you can listen to JFM podcast on the go wherever you want. I mean, I know I'm posting this up on YouTube also, but just in case you don't have any internet or you're up in the airplane, you can just listen to my dopey voice and all that good stuff. I do listen to podcasts too, and it's very nice. I like to listen to podcasts while I'm working, and you might listen to this podcast and my future podcasts while you're working on your stuff too. So, I hope this will help you. So, wow. Gotta thank two artists, Jeff Lafferty and Peter Palmiotti, for inspiring me to make a podcast. So, I do have them in my channel promoted. So if you could, you can just subscribe to those guys. So, yeah. Alright, what's in the agenda? Mr. Lewinsky, give me my notes. Latest work, quickies. Oh, okay. I'm going to talk about my latest work. I'm recording this on the 8th of May, 2013. And my latest work has been that sketch dump that I just posted on DeviantArt. Pretty weird stuff you see on that sketch dump. Sketch dump 2. You see David as a bull, Jennifer pregnant, adult Jane, a whole bunch of weird references to things you don't know, like, let's say, Retsu Prey guys. I drew Slow Beef and Diabetes as, in my Tuna style. I'd like to send it to them if I knew where to send fan art stuff, but hey, whatever. I would like to make a comic starring the Retsu guys. Make some Retsu references from the bad LPs they did. That's awesome. Quickies. Yes, I just got over that 1-month hiatus with the quickies on the Jeff and Taylor website, and I don't know, I just decided to do something silly. Like that peacock. Jeff and Taylor are watching TV, like a nature channel, and then you see this peacock. Only I just wrote whatever. With the narrator, it's like he's just talking to peacock. That's how he talks. To peacock licks the cheeseburgers. Bad peacock, like that. And then Jeff is like, oh, this narrator's funny. And Taylor is very afraid of the peacock. He has a new fear. They can steal your soul. I mean, ducks. He's afraid of ducks. He's afraid that they might breathe fire on him. Don't ask. And now peacocks will steal your soul. So that Taylor. Hopefully he'll get over his fears. So yeah, those are the quickies. And this Saturday I will be. Well, no, I don't know when this podcast or this video will be up. But my next quickie after the peacock one will be a Mother's Day theme. You get to see Blue and Lemon's mother for the first time. And, yeah, I drew her once a long time ago, but I'm kind of going to have to redesign her. So, yeah, we all get to see Blue's mother for once. So, yeah, there you have it. Podcast over. Okay, see you later, guys. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, job. My job has been pretty good. Excuse me, my job has been, pretty good so far. Has been pretty good. Oh boy. I can't speak today. Pretty bad idea if you wanted to make a podcast. Okay, but that job of mine is tiring. Every time I come back from work, I just want to take a nap. But no, my work ethic is still here with my comics and junk and drawings and videos. So, yeah. Job is pretty much draining me, but I'm still hanging on. It's just it's just that job. I just have that job to make money, that's it. I'm just hoping to make more money once more Jeff and Taylor volumes come out, and Jeff and Taylor Volume 2 will be out this month. So, yeah, I'll probably make a commercial promoting that, so look forward to that. The weather here in Fairbanks, Alaska is pretty well so far. Actually, it's now starting to look like May, because we've even having a pretty late spring, because there's still snow on the ground. And lately we've been hitting 50 degrees Fahrenheit, so now the snow is gonna melt, and I'm sure it's not gonna snow anymore, because this summer is pretty late. Spring, whatever. It's almost June, so I might as well call it summer. Yeah, there is no spring in Fairbanks. It's just, that period where it's a little slushy and muddy. That's that weird time of the year. It's just winter, summer, fall. That's how it goes. And the agenda. Okay, now we get to the root of this podcast. What do I get to talk about? Well, I'm going to talk about some of my rules when it comes to writing a Jeff and Taylor story. How to respond to critics, and I'm going to talk about my high school life. Yes, I will be doing a little bit of personal vlogging with these podcasts, so hope you don't mind. I just leave those personal stuff dead last. I won't get too personal, but yeah, it's going to be fun. Very fun. I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait, sir. Can't wait. Okay. Jeff and Taylor creeds. I'm going to talk about the things that I don't allow, that I'd never ever want to write in a Jeff and Taylor story. Some things are obvious, considering that the comic is rated PG, but there are some things that I would not allow, even on a PG level of censorship. Okay. What's the very first thing? What is the thing that I do not want to put in a Jeff and Taylor story, ever? Ever. Well, that would have to be potty humor. Example, fart jokes. I find them extremely juvenile. I hate them. And they just don't belong with my style, with Jeff and Taylor or my Tuna May style. I mean, just look at my characters. My Tuna May style is pretty cute and tasteful, so I do not want any tasteless jokes. Any disgusting potty humor relating to my art style, because it just doesn't match. My art style can be, vulgar at times, my writing, but it's not. I do not want any disgusting stuff. Just leave the tasteful stuff to me. I just want that. I mean, what are some things that are kind of vulgar yet tasteful? I don't know. I think that's kind of an oxymoron. I mean, fart jokes are bad, but boob jokes, those are a-okay. Yeah, I guess that's what that's kind of contradicting to some people. But hey, I keep them to a minimal, and I will be talking about the sexual stuff later. But yeah, I just don't like it. I even hate it when I watch it on cartoons and TV shows. Not my cup of tea, really. I just do a facepalm. Oh, jeez. Like that. Exactly. What's the other thing that I do not allow, or at least I am very, very careful at writing? I do not want to make fun of religion in JNT because it's just crossing the line, you know. If you want to, it's just I will include a religion. I just won't make fun of a religion. It's like you're trying to piss people off on purpose, like Family Guy or something. I'm not Family Guy. I'm JNT. I'm trying to be something different. And if I want to be different nowadays, I guess I just have to try to not offend people, because that's like the joke nowadays. That's like the main joke. Cartoons nowadays try to offend people. I mean, there are some that just want to tell a very smart storyline, like let's say Gravity Falls. That cartoon show is pretty good, very well written and very well animated, and I do like that show. I generally love that show so much that I've made fan art, and I usually never make fan art of anything. But Gravity Falls is awesome. That style of writing is what I like: continuity and smart writing. They treat their audience like they're not idiots, you know? And I treat my audience, my readers, like they're not idiots either, so... And that is just insulting if you include, like, let's say, fart jokes and very offensive jokes to your audience, you know? I mean, I guess some of my stuff can be offensive, but I am aware that they're offensive. I mean, of course, Family Guy is aware that they're offending people, but they just do it just for jolly follies, not for awareness or anything. Well, sometimes. Okay. I mean, yeah, I do make fun of some religions here and there, but very, very minor. Like, let's say one of my latest quickies is Them Demon Books, number 67. That includes Jane's mom. She is, as you can tell, she's a very conservative Christian, and she reads, she finds that her daughter is reading this wizard book, similar to Harry Potter. So she actually picks it up and throws it out the window. Throws it right through the glass of the window. And I'm just, making fun of the conservative right-wing Christians out there. But hey, I guess, to me that is kind of okay, because I'm Christian too, I guess, because, I don't know. I guess that's a little exception. I don't know how I make fun of religion, but I won't make fun of Jewish or Muslims or Hindus, not even Mormons. Everybody likes to take a stab at Mormons, but I do not. Not even them. I don't like to make fun of them. Even what are they called? Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't want to make fun of them at all. If I have to make fun of religion, I have to make up my own religion. So a religion that's so out there and so crazy that everybody in the world will agree that they're stupid. Like the Westboro Baptist Church. Okay. Race. No. The next thing on the agenda is making fun of race. People's races. Racism. There is no racism in JNT. Again, that follows with the whole offending people on purpose. That's not right. Let's see. I'm aware that that I draw. I try to draw different races in Somerville. There's a whole bunch of people living in Somerville, even though the majority is white, I guess. I never make fun of people. I never like to point out what race a person is. Not even that, Let's say a good example of a show that almost never points out races or anything like that. Let's say Kenan and Kel. Kenan and Kel is a show on Nickelodeon, or was a show on Nickelodeon, starring two African American teenagers on misadventures, just like Jeff and Taylor. Only J and T are not African American. The majority of the cast is are black, but they don't they don't point it out. There's not even a little reference to say. You never hear Kenan and Kel on the show say, "Oh, I'm black." We can see that. they focus on story and characters, and that's it. Not even Black History Month was featured there. I guess it's like they're trying to focus on kids and what they find funny. It's all about the jokes and the storyline. It's all they're people. Everybody on Kenan and Kel was a person, and we see a person, not a race. So yeah, that is a very good example on how to not make fun of races. Just don't make any racist jokes.
How dare you!
Now we go to violence. Jeff and Taylor is kind of a action-packed comic. Well, not really that action-packed, but it does have some action. But there is a level of violence that's too much. Like, let's say, punching. Punching and slapping is very common in JNT, but you gotta know what the difference is between a comical punch and a serious punch. A comical punch is what you see on episode 3, Blue World, when Blue punches Jeff. Just the look on his face. He has a "go-hoy" or "oof" face. It's like, uh-oh, I just got punched. That's a comical punch. If I were to draw Blue punching Jeff and has a serious look of pain on him, that's letting the readers know that this is a serious punch. This is drama we're watching. And I never like to draw serious violence like that, except if it's necessary. Like, let's say a bully. Like when I drew Sam on her little villain description, you see in the top left corner that she's slapping Blue. That is a serious slap. But I'm showing that because I just want to let the people know, let the audience know that Sam is a bad person. She's a bad cat. She does not like Blue. And hopefully throughout the storyline she will change. Yeah, J&T, they try to avoid fights, but they would fight if it in order to defend themselves. Like, I do not want to set a bad example to my readers, having the main characters be so gung-ho on violence and punching and all that. Like, on episode 11, I will plan to have Sam to make another appearance. Instead, she's not bullying Blue anymore. She's going to bully J&T. But J&T don't want to hit Sam because she's a girl. No matter how much she hits them, Jeff and Taylor will never hit a girl, no matter how bad she is. So yeah. And then later, Jeff will clone himself, and then he'll make an evil clone, and that evil clone has no rules. He has no morals, so he'll try to fight anybody, even if they're a girl. And Jeff and Taylor does not like that. They don't like that. So instead, to fight a greater evil, they would have to fight DJ. But it'll be a comical fight, I'm giving too much away. Okay. No gory stuff, of course. Blood here and there. I'll include bloody noses. Maybe cuts and scrapes. That's as far as I can go with showing blood in J&T. But no, you will never see a person or a character getting his or her head chopped off or arm chopped off or anything like that. So, yeah, that is not good on a PG level. Okay, what is good on a PG level when it comes to sexual content? If you're a long-time subscriber of me and actually watch my videos and know my artwork, I guess you can kind of tell I do like some of the sexy stuff. I'm ashamed to say it, but there is a time and place for that, and I do include some sexual humor with J&T. Look at the West End girls. You have 4 girls with huge breasts, but I try to focus on their personalities more than how they look, I guess, because I'm trying to do something different with the Western girls. Like, whenever you see a busty character in an anime, you can tell that they're meant to be some sort of sexual comic foil. That's it. But I try to make people with my characters. Like, it is reality that girls with huge breasts are people too, and they can be funny, they can be evil, they can be good, they can be anything. They're just like any other girl. They're just like any other human being. So I try to incorporate that into JNT. I have Ashley be sexual because not because she has huge breasts. It's because she is a very vain person. She thinks she's sexy. She loves to look at herself in the mirror. She is incredibly vain. She loves to call herself a goddess. That's why she is more of the sexual character in JNT. And you have the other side of the spectrum, Jennifer. She also has big boobs, but she is very insecure. She tries to focus on her schoolwork and her intelligence. She wants to impress people with her mind, even though she is a bit of a bitter gal, I guess. I don't know what to call her. She's a bitter person. She's a bitter little thing. Okay. And you got Chris, who is like, she's incredibly funny, but, yeah. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I do have some, vaguely, over-the-top sexual stuff in some of my some of my JNT comics, but it's like, it's comics starring two teenage boys. Some of a majority of my audience are male, so I have to have that little thing for them. It's like most of the things I draw is mostly for them, not for me. You know what I'm saying? But I've been noticing that more girls are watching JNT, so I'm gonna level the playing field. If I'm gonna sexualize some girls, like let's say Ashley, I'm gonna have to sexualize some guys too, because there are some girls reading some JNT books. So that's why I created Jacob Johansson. He's meant to be somewhat of a beefcake character, I guess. I guess you can say David is a sexy guy. I mean, I guess he's a sexy beast. Who knows? I only drew him in his wearing only a Speedo once. That's his little beach attire, just a Speedo. Stupid David. Okay. Oh, here's another little thing that I try to be careful with JNT is technology. You've noticed that when you read JNT lately, I mean, the story takes place nowadays.
What a concept!
Yeah. With that said, my characters are not, or the story is not really heavily focused on technology like iPhones and smartphones and the internet and texting, because I want to focus on the story and all that. I want the main reason why I don't have my characters so focused on their cell phones and technology and GPS. I mean, I will include those, that they do exist, but I kind of want to make JNT timeless. Like, you can enjoy this in 50 years or so, and it'll still hold strong. Like, let's say, here's some shows nowadays that's pretty much the opposite, like iCarly and Victorious. They talk about the internet and the latest gadgets all the time. And people will laugh at that in, let's say, 20 years. Because they're like, oh, hey, look at this smartphone. So ancient, so old. Not like my head, not like my phone inside my head. All you have to do is tap inside and then you can talk. My glasses, you can watch videos in the glasses. Built-in speakers, yo. Don't do that again. Oh, but still. You never know what kind of technology will arise. And me personally, I hope the world will slow down on its technology stuff. Because the more technology we have, the more complicated things get, and the more things I have to follow, and have to cancel a Twitter account just to get the newest thing, cancel my Facebook account to get the latest thing. Facebook and Twitter, they kind of exist in JNT, but no one talks about that. If a person wants to talk to their friend, they just call them by the phone. That's it. I'm being a little classic. Let's say Ashley wants to talk to her friends. She would have to call them on her phone. That's it. No social media or anything like that. Jane, she is very old school. She sends letters in the post office. Yeah. So there you have it. No, not exactly. We have one more thing to talk about, Jeff. I mean JFM. Don't call me Jeff, man. I don't want people to know my name. Everybody knows your name. Just like Cheers. Okay. When it comes to jokes and story, which is more important? If you said jokes, you are wrong. Well, I don't know. I mean, most of the time, jokes can work over and over. It depends what kind of story. Well, it depends what kind of comic you're writing. If it's some variety comic, like say a comic strip, of course, jokes are a point. Jokes are important when you write comic strips or an anthology series regarding comedy and all that. But not for J&T. J&T is a series. It will have a beginning and an end, so it has a large story arc, a very big story arc. If I were to generalize the summary of Jeff and Taylor, it'd be Jeff and Taylor are two teenage boys on misadventures in their hometown of Somerville. All that they want is to be recognized for what they do, and in the meantime, they will face against members of an underground crime organization called Team Starhammer. So yeah, those are the main antagonists. They will fight them, or they would go against them here and there throughout the whole series. And at the very final episode, we get to see who's in charge of Team Starhammer, and let's see how that goes. So yeah, that's the whole story. Of course, there are some jokes within the story, but I don't really focus on that. You know, I'm not Family Guy, if I can bring that up again. It's like what I hate. Whenever Family Guy does their stuff, I really hate it when they bring a pointless non sequitur. Just stops in the middle of the story, or lack of story, whatever they have nowadays. And that's why I prefer to watch the first season of Family Guy, because the characters are better fleshed out, and they really don't focus on jokes, even though they're there. The whole pointless flashback stuff, at least they tried, with the first season. But yeah. Alright, to summarize the quick notes version, Jeff and Taylor Creeds. No fart jokes, don't make fun of religion, don't be racist, lower the violence level, and be careful with your violence, be careful with your sexual content, no technology in the J&T things, and story is much more important than jokes. Actually, it's story and characters that really make that really make J&T shine, not the jokes, even though they're there. That's why I have the quickies. They're just jokes, I guess. I'm very bad at comedy, guys. That's why I prefer to write long stories rather than short jokes, I mean, if J&T were to be animated, I would rather prefer to have other people write jokes for me. It's like, hey, what do you think of this? Could you spice it up a bit? If it's within my creeds? Yeah. So there you have it. Mostly, I learned most of my creeds through this one website called the Bad Web Comics Wiki, or whatever it is. Man, I haven't checked that in a long time, fearing that J&T would be there. Oh God. But yeah, the webcomics wiki, they're mostly a critique, but they also crap on the creators too. It depends. If the author of the webcomic is pretty much of a douchebag, then they will rip him or her apart. Yeah, they pretty much critique the hell out of those webcomics, from art to storyline to the author to their audience to their jokes. I read a lot of their articles and their critiques of webcomics. Like one of the worst things that the webcomic people of that wiki site actually agree that the worst webcomics out there are Control-Delete, Least I Could Do, So You're a Cartoonist by Tom Preston, and what else? There's another one. Full Moon Till June, I think. Full Moon June? Moon June? I don't know what it's called. It's some sort of weird looking lesbian sexual webcomic. You know, I'm not. Ugh. I mean, I do like the lesbians, but that kind of webcomic is like, ugh. Believe me, it's so over the top and trying to be overly sexual to me. Even to me, it's like too much. Yeah. I pretty much learned from that webcomics wiki thing how to take critiques, how to write better with my webcomics, with the JNT, and it's a good thing I read it, because who knows what kind of train wreck I would have written if it weren't for them. I was about to say something else. Oh, what was it? I just forgot. Which means I lied, according to my mom. You know, whenever I'm about to say something to my mother, and then I say, "Oh, I forgot," she usually replies, "Oh, that means you're gonna lie." I don't know what that means, but that's what she always says. Okay. Yeah. Whenever you have like haters on your webcomic or artwork in general, let's say they type in their YouTube comments, say your drawing sucks, man. Your story is so whack, man. I can draw better than that. Your jokes aren't funny. Toast, that doesn't make sense. None of your crap makes sense. I know. I got actual harsh criticism. No, they're not criticism. They're just crapping on you for the sake of crapping. They're haters. They're trolls. So what do you do with trolls? You just ignore them. Just pretend they're not there and just do that. I mean, sometimes I reply, but I don't like to reply in saying, "Oh, you're stupid. Just shut up." You know, I don't do that. That's immature. I just say, like with one of my videos, I think Maria's character description, I got a comment saying, "Oh, your drawing sucks." I just replied, "Dude, say whatever you want. I'll never stop drawing." You know, I just replied like that. And he never replied back. You know, because, you know, I just replied in a very positive way, in a very professional way. So there you have it. There's even some very weird stuff that I get on YouTube. Like, there was this guy last month, I guess, who claimed that I was a pedophile. A pedophile because I have, mostly kids and preteens watching my stuff, reading JNT, and I'm somehow luring them into doing stuff. I mean, that is way over the top, and I don't know what that was about. That was just crazy, but I responded to him in a professional way, saying that, hey, my stuff is not like that. I am not like that at all. I am very strict on I keep reminding people that Jeff and Taylor is meant for people ages 12 and up. I do not want little children to read JNT, mostly because they won't get what's going on, and they wouldn't get the jokes. They wouldn't get the references. I mean, some of my references are for adults, but it's not sexual stuff or violent stuff. It's mostly music references. Like, let's say I reference Pink Floyd. I'm a fan of Pink Floyd, but some of the little children don't get Pink Floyd because they probably have never heard their songs before. But that's pretty much a nod to my adult readers, because they most likely heard of Pink Floyd, because that's pretty much the kind of stuff that's the kind of quote unquote adult stuff that I mostly show in JNT. Adult references like music of the old times, TV shows of the old times, and yeah, of course the sexual stuff too. I mean, who can get wrong? But yeah, I try not to be overly sexual, okay? But it's there, and I'm aware, and I'm kind of doing the sexual stuff because I'm pandering to the boys who are in puberty and all that. So no, children are not allowed to read Jeff and Taylor. I'm sorry. So no. Speaking of which, here's one thing that just crossed my mind, forgetting about the creeds, is pop culture references. I said a long time ago that I never include pop culture references in J&T. That is somewhat of a lie. I do include pop culture references, mostly music references. That is pop culture, like Pink Floyd. They are pop culture. The things that I don't want to include, the type of pop culture, is the pop culture nowadays. Like I don't want to reference a Lady Gaga song because I'm not a fan of hers. I guess I just like to reference pop culture if I like it. And you should do the same. Make a story or whatever that you feel that's right. And if you like Lady Gaga, then go ahead and include her songs. More power to you if you really love her. So yeah, that's my take on pop culture references. Very stupid, but yeah. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm losing my mind here. This is like over 38 minutes of podcast. I'm having a lisp. Okay. There's also a critique that I got. Not really a critique, but a little weird comment that I got here and there. Some I don't know who, but I think I know who, but this particular person keeps saying that I have Asperger's syndrome. I don't know what that is, honestly, but I'm pretty sure I don't, because, I kind of looked it up after he said, "Do you have Asperger's syndrome or something?" I'm like, no, I don't. So I looked it up, and it's like, dang, I do not have this, considering the symptoms. Or something like that. The whole Asperger autism thing is, to me, it's not black and white. It's a whole spectrum thing. If you ask me, everybody has some sort of form of autism. It's like, I don't know. It's like some people are worse than others. But hey, I'm just talking in weird voices like this. I'm just talking like this because I'm trying to be funny. I sound like Seuss and Peter Griffin together. But yeah, I just do this to be funny and silly because I try to capture my audience. I try not to be boring, So who knows if I have Asperger's syndrome or whatever it is? If I do, who cares? That's my little take. Let's see. What's on the other agenda? Oh yeah, praise genuine critiques. If a person says, "Hey, I like your stuff, but I think I think I have some stuff that could make you improve in your work, in your storyline, or your art," just listen to them and reply. Even if you don't want to take their advice, just let them know that. Just say thank you for your critique and all that. Just say that. I do have some comments that are like that. Like there's this one kid who said that he said it in a nice way that my art style is a bit like what a 12-year-old would draw. But I didn't take that offensively. I'm just saying, oh, it's alright, dog. I draw better. He did see the artwork of Party Time, and that was done a long time ago. But yeah, I don't take that offensively. One of the worst trolls I ever had was like, "Dude, you draw like crap." I'm trying not to swear in this podcast, but he said the word, not crap, but the S word. "Dude, you draw like crap. My 14-year-old sister can draw better than you. Go to art school." It's like, and it's very funny because I was in art school when I had that little troll comment. So I just ignored him. I didn't respond back, and he never said anything back to me. So, yeah, screw the haters. Just ignore them. Don't feed the trolls. That's what I'm going for. Don't feed them. They will starve to death. Okay. One of the best critics that I've had was this guy on DeviantArt called J Series Art. He sends me notes on what he thinks of certain Jeff and Taylor episodes. He sent me his little critique / summary of G Station and Race Junkies. And if it weren't for him, if it weren't for his critiques, I wouldn't have changed Cindy's appearance, and I would have changed Maria's appearance either. I even changed a little bit of Cindy's personality too, kind of make her more uh, loose, maybe loose, more. She's still very careful. I don't know. I made her a little bit more carefree. That's what I'm saying, Cindy, because she is 18. She is Jeff and Maria's sister. Even though she's a big sister, she is not a mother or anything like that. And yeah, that's if it weren't for J Series, I think I know his name through Twitter, um, but yeah, if it weren't for him, I wouldn't have really improved more on my storyline and all that. Speaking of which, when it comes to improving on my artwork, I was thinking about changing my art, into more digital. But then again, if I were to switch to all digital, I'll be doing nothing but stare at a computer screen, at my Cintiq screen all day, every day. And that can be draining. That can be quite unhealthy to my eyes, so I'm thinking of not doing digital with the main series. It's like I'm doing the whole hybrid thing. I think people were more appreciative of that, the whole mixing traditional with digital. I know I do digital when it's important, when it's necessary. But when it comes to coloring the characters and drawing them, it's much easier to color them by hand. So yeah, I'm thinking of doing that. But it can get so messy. But who cares? Traditional rocks. Of course, I'm a fan of digital too, but when it comes to my ordinary work that I post on DeviantArt, my random drawings, I am strictly digital on those. But when it comes to the comics, I mix traditional and digital. So there you have it. Man, I remember, critiques on online is so okay with me. Critiques are like a shot. It may hurt, but it's good for you. A booster shot. But back in the critiques, back in my old critique days in college, man, I would hate to swallow them. It wasn't more of a shot, but rather than a gigantic pill to swallow. When it comes to those college critiques, because I was, college life was okay. Here and there, I made some friends, made some very good friends, but at the same time, I kind of regretted showing a lot of my cartooning work there. I mean, that's who I am, but still, every little project had to include some sort of Jeff and Taylor thing. It's like I'm almost sorry for my classmates that they have to see my Tooname style in every little thing, and for me not to explore. But yeah, I mostly went to college to make myself into a better drawer or cartoonist, and it did. If it weren't for college, I wouldn't have known how to code a website or be more in tune with my design self. I can design pages better, design logos, wallpapers, whatever you like to say, whatever you like to call them. If it weren't for college, I wouldn't have been the man I am today. That's what I'm saying. But still, college critiques, they would say, they would try to be nice to me, but at the same time, they would be more vocal with another person and be quiet and say little about my stuff, because it's almost like they're saying, Jeff is never going to improve, so why say anything? So I'm like, oh, okay. That's what I get when they don't say anything about my work. I mean, they do say some things, but not as much as they don't get as much into it with the other students. Same goes like a month ago on Facebook. I posted one of my my design work for a Jeff and Taylor calendar, and saying strictly, well, I've been asking anybody, but this was mainly strictly for my college classmates, saying that, hey, well, what do you think of this design? Any critique is welcome. Could you please respond? And I got nothing. Nobody responded to that drawing at all. So I had to remove it, so what's the point? But, on the other hand, there is another student who posted on Facebook, hey, I want to choose what kind of glasses I want to wear. Should I wear glasses 1, 2, 3, or 4? He got a whole bunch of responses and likes from the classmates saying, and they were all into it and all that. Glasses. I mean, I know it's fun, and the guy posting about the glasses is a very good guy. I don't hate him at all. I like him. I like it. He was a good friend. But still, it's just this double standard with me. I mean, I told my sister about it, and she said, maybe because they can't see you, maybe because they have you hidden in their feed, and that's most likely because Facebook, I usually post some very sad things. Mostly things to get people's attention. It's like, oh boy. That's one of the main reasons why I quit Facebook. Or at least retired from it. I'm never going to post anything. I'm never going to post another status update again. I mean, I still use it for messages and the Jeff and Tater Facebook page. Like it. Okay. But still, that's why I kind of quit, because I want to save people from my drama, from my life, and I also want to save, and I also don't want to listen to anybody else's drama. I mean, if a friend really wants to communicate with me, then I'd rather have them talk to me through Google Plus or Skype, or send me a personal message through Facebook, but not anything like that. The last thing I posted on Facebook was that spill drawing of Jeff and Jane together, because that's what I've been always wanting. That little spill sequence that I drew, that is like, that's showing a little bit of my insecurities when it comes to making friends and all that. So, yeah, that is kind of sad. But let's go into something happy, somewhat happy. My high school life. If you want to talk about my social skills back in high school, they were way worse than now. I mean, I can talk to you face to face right now without any worries or whatever. I mean, I may stutter here and there, but that's just me. I stutter when it comes to when I'm not used to talking to that person. I usually stutter on my B's and D's and W's. I can say Billy basketball, Billy basketball, Billy basketball, Billy basketball, Billy basketball, man. Okay, but still, if I were to say that in front of you, I would say Billy basketball. Oh, not that bad, but still, I stutter. I don't know why. It's like my brain doesn't want to talk. I mean, it's so stupid because I first had that in elementary school, and then I was talking to some random kid, and then he's like, wait, you don't talk much, do you? And that made me feel like crap, man. It's like, you have to point out my flaws. I know I stutter. And then you pointed out that there's something wrong with me? Jesus, guy. Okay, but when it comes to high school, things got better. My level of popularity was, I was in probably the T list of of my classmates. All the jocks and preps, were the A list. Were the A list in the whole popularity thing. The people who were really into the school spirit were on top of the A list. But I consider myself mid-alphabet list, I guess. Mostly because I didn't talk, and that's my fault. But yeah, I did mention this on one of my videos on this channel, that I had a hard time making friends because I didn't talk that much. I mean, a lot of people here can relate. But it gets better. Believe me, high school is not like real life at all. I mean, your social skills will be better if you practice, especially in the workplace. I mean, I'm somewhat comfortable talking to my workmates, my work buddies, co-workers. That's the word I'm talking. That's the word right there. That's what I'm talking about. Co-workers. I'm kind of comfortable talking to them, even though a majority of them are older than me, way older than me. But there is this one guy who's the same age as me, and I talk to him just fine. So, yeah, I had a hard time making friends. Most of the friends that I've been talking to in high school were friends that I already made back in elementary school and in middle school. Middle school, best days of my life, man. Middle school. Okay. That's why Jeff and Taylor are middle schoolers. A little tidbit of facts for you. But yeah. I mean, I considered myself a drifter. I mean, back then, even at lunchtime, I didn't have an official place for me to sit at lunch. It's like I used to go, I mean, back in freshman year when I had a girlfriend, I used to sit with her all the time, and her friends. And then that ended in sophomore year. I would switch here and there. I used to sit with my friend David Zuckerman, and my other acquaintances. We used to talk about stuff, talk about Mortal Kombat, talk about our comics. David Zuckerman, he's now in film school, making independent movies. He has a movie, a short film that's being in the film festivals, those independent film festivals. I'm proud of him. He's on his way to the success ladder, and I'm on my way to the success ladder too. I mean, I'm on my way to publish Jeff and Taylor Volume 2, and then Volume 3, then Volume 4, and then the world. Okay, I'm not going to take over the world. Goodness. But yeah, lunchtime was weird. I used to drift here and there. I was not part of a clique, I wasn't a jock. Of course, I wasn't a prep. I wasn't a goth kid. Oh, Jesus, no. But I wasn't anything. I was just me. And I was just drift from place to place, eating with this amount of friends and this certain friends and all that. I remember for a long time in like junior year, I used to sit in a table with all the nerds in my class of 2008. Not even the nerds would talk to me, man. I mean, they would get into their own little conversations. I'm just sitting there, quietly listening to them, eavesdropping. And they're just ignoring me. But yeah, the kind of arguments they get into is so strange, Nerd talk. It's not nerd talk like saying, "Oh, I think the mage should be friends with the wizard because they are connected to each other." You know what I'm saying, dog? Look at my pocket protector. My glasses. Oh, my chest. I have asthma. No. They're not like that at all. Instead, they talk about the weirdest crap, like fiber. The most random thing to talk about, fiber. It's like this one kid in the nerd table was talking about, I should have more fiber in my diet. I guess I should eat more bread. And then the other nerdy kid, who was like valedictorian in my class, said, vegetables have more. Oh, yeah, but bread has a lot of fiber. Vegetables have more. And I'm like, why am I even here? Jeez, I should just go to class early. Finish my homework, because I procrastinated a lot with my homework. I used to just finish up my homework before class starts. Because that's how I was. I would never like to talk with any stranger. Speaking of which, I tried to loosen up in sophomore year when I was sitting with my friend Wayman, who Maria's friend in the comic Wayman is based on my friend Wayman. I used to sit with him. He's like 1 year older than me, but yeah, I sat with him, and then he was saying goodbye to this girl, hugging her, and I'm like, hey, do I get a hug too? I said that to a girl who I've never met before. Stupid me. I'm knocking myself in the head right now, and she's like, ew, why? It's like, and I got offended. Of course you said no, stupid dumbass Jeff from 10th grade, because you don't know her. So glad I've matured, quote unquote matured, in from sophomore year. But, oh boy, what a doozy that was. Ha ha. I did gain a little bit of popularity. I mean, a lot of people did like my cartoons. Mostly my friends, of course, that I've known. Am I Canadian now? Noon. that I've known for all of my whole years of living. but still, I did gain a little bit of popularity ever since I made Jeff and Taylor be a little comic strip in the school newspaper every month. So I just submitted my drawings to the school newspaper, and they would put it there, and people would read Jeff and Taylor. Yeah, some of the jokes were turned into quickies nowadays, like the slingshot one, which is like quickie number 2 or quickie number 3. No, it's quickie number 2. The slingshot one was originally a comic strip back in the high school days. So yeah. Oh, and the Jeff and Taylor doing lazy work in gym class when Coach Wade told him to drop and give them 50. Jeff is like, "Oh, I don't have cash on me. Do you accept checks?" So yeah, that was originally a strip on the newspaper. But other than the newspaper, I was at a play, and in my senior year, my first and only play. I was one of the Thunderbirds in our little production of Grease. You know, Grease the movie, starring John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. Yeah, that Grease. I was one of the Thunderbirds. I was Duty. Duty. That was a funny name. Yeah, but everybody loved it. Everybody got to hear me sing, and a lot of people were surprised at my singing voice, and they were like, "Oh man, Jeff, I can't believe you sung. You sung so well." And of course, that kind of boosted my confidence, and I got a little bit more social. My self-esteem rised up, and that is awesome. That is an awesome feeling when people compliment you. I guess that's why I've posted all the stuff on Facebook, because I want my friends to make me feel better, even though I should be doing that myself. And if I ever insult myself, please, you don't have to cheer me up or anything, because I don't know, it's like I'm doing this for attention or something like that. But I don't know. If you feel like cheering me up, then I still thank you for it. Oh, TV, shut up. Okay, but still, I mean, throughout my whole life, I always wanted friends, like this one close friend that I just want to talk to my whole life. I guess that's why I made Taylor, in Jeff and Taylor. That's my idea of an ideal friendship. Jeff and Taylor, two friends who are just doing stuff together, hanging out at their houses, and playing games together, hanging out together, just being friends, best friends. I never had a real best friend growing up. I mean, there was Rory, but he kind of drifted away in middle school. But that's all right. He is a father now, which is very nice. Yeah. I guess J&T is personal to me, even though I'm sharing, but that's my view of an ideal friendship. J&T, I always wanted to hunt evil video game stations, consoles, and evil robots, meaning busty girls. That's my idea of a friendship. That right there. Best life ever. It's like one of the things, I used to be very insecure with my friendships. It's like I would sometimes, well, not sometimes, rarely ask the question to a friend, "How would you feel if I were to die?" And I would just want to listen to their response, saying that, of course, most of my friends says, "Oh, I would be incredibly sad. I would cry," and all that. I don't know why I would ask that question. It's like I don't trust them or anything. That's why I don't ask that question anymore. I mean, I've matured, and I know who my friends are. Okay. I guess that's the end of the podcast. That's a really somber way to end the podcast, isn't it? My first one. Okay, hopefully my hosting thing will accept this, even though it's pre-recorded. I will. Hopefully I'll have an interview with somebody in the near future. If not, then you get to hear me all the time talking. I really want to talk with another person too, because I really talk when I'm bouncing off another person. Like I should get my coworker Paul to talk with me. He's the guy that's the same age as me. I would also like to get Jade to talk with me too, if I were to speak with her online. So yeah, there you have it. That's it. That is the Jeff and Taylor podcast, or whatever it's called. I don't know what to call it. If you have a suggestion, please tell me to what to call this podcast. It has to be something nice. I mean, Retsupre has their podcast called Retsu Talk, and that is very creative, very simple, short and simple, to the point. Me, I can't say JFM Talk. No, that's stupid. I can't call it the Jeff and Taylor podcast because people will be expecting a guy named Taylor with me. I mean, my name is Jeff, but it's like, where's Taylor? Who's Taylor? It's like, oh, come on, man. Oh, boy. Oh, my name. I have 1,000 different names. Okay, but yeah, if you have a suggestion, I am thinking about calling it the Somerville Outcast. It could, because Somerville is the name of the town that Jeff and Taylor is at. But if that doesn't work, then I'll suggest something. Then I'll listen to something else. I'll take it. I'll take it for free, chicken. I'll take it. Okay. We're over an hour, which is wow. Oh my goodness. Who knew I can talk so much? It's like, wow, man.
I like it a lot.
Shut up. Alright, so I guess that's it, guys. I to plug myself, be an avid viewer of the Jeff and Taylor comic website. It's www.jeffandtaylorcomic.com. So you can see my stuff, see Jeff and Taylor. Just read the whole thing. Everything's there for free. Buy the volumes if you wanna read Jeff and Taylor on the go without any internet and without straining your eyes on a screen. Become a fan on the Facebook page, which is Jeff and Taylor Comic Series on Facebook, if you have that. Also, if you have a Twitter, it is at Jeff and Taylor.
Follow me on Twitter.
Just follow me there. I have 24 followers, man. That is awesome. I'm gaining popularity. I mean, who cares if these other people have 10,000 followers? I have 24. Dun dun. What else? What do I like to plug? Oh, my DeviantArt. It's just JFM Studios at DeviantArt. A lot of my different stuff is on the Jeff and Taylor website. If you look at those buttons on the banner, then you can find a lot of my extra stuff there. So I hope to see you guys there. Hope to see more fans and followers, and don't forget to just be excellent to each other. To quote Bill and Ted, be kind to one another, be nice, ignore the trolls, listen to good critiques. High school life is not the end of the world. Listen to the critiques. I already said that. College life can be a bummer, but it's also awesome. Be careful in what you write. Just because I don't like to make fart jokes doesn't mean that you don't have to make fart jokes. You know, if you really love fart jokes, then go ahead. Making comics is all about having fun. If that's fun to you, then more power to you. You know, I'm not discouraging anybody to write violence or sexual content or anything like that. It really depends on what you want. So, you know, you don't have to really listen to my stuff. Just, I really encourage you to make stories and make comics and make drawings based on what you really want to do. So, there you have it, as Ludacris would say. And I will see you guys later. JFM out. Goodbye. Live long and prosper. Bum bum.